Hi, I'm Ryan. I've been flipping furniture so that I can take my wife on a vacation for our 20th anniversary. My newest flip is the base to a hutch. I bought it at a yard sale for $20. The top part of the hutch wasn't there, which doesn't matter. It looks amazing. There's not a lot of damage to it. What I'm going to do to it is turn it into a coffee bar. Because when you open the drawer, it had the dividers, I think, that held like silverware or any kind of utensils. I'm going to use that to store like K-cups. So that's where I'm at. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to have an update on the total since I sold the large dresser from 2 videos ago. So stick around for that. All right, let's get to work. So I was going to sand the top, but it's pretty hard. I think it's got a really thick clear coat on it. So I decided that this was the perfect opportunity to try some stripper. So I'm going to do probably just the top in stripper, and if it works great, then I might move further on down. If not, I'll just sand it. So let's try some stripping. So you're supposed to put a big coat on here and let it set for at least a half hour. So that's what I'm going to do. So the stripper did pretty good. It got rid of all the that top really high gloss coat and almost all of the stain, which I think that's exactly what it's supposed to do. So now I'm going to let it dry, and then I'll probably start hitting it with some sandpaper. It left the streaks like where the chip brush went on. I don't know if that's supposed to be how it is, so I figure I have to sand it down a little bit anyways, but this should definitely make it a lot easier. Alright, so I got the top all sanded down to bare wood. I used the stripper at first, which I think worked really well. I probably should have left it on a little bit longer. There was a couple places that didn't come up all the way, and that might have just also been I didn't put a big enough layer on top of those parts. But after I got it all scraped off, I took some mineral spirits and steel wool and scrubbed it out, and they came right off. And then I took some 120 and then to 220 and sanded it back straight down to bare wood. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to stain it a really dark stain, and then clear coat it. And I'm going to probably make it, right now in my mind I want it to be shiny, just because it's the top. And then for the rest of it, I'm going to paint a cream color, except for the drawer. I'm going to leave that, I'm going to make that also the same color as the top, and then the feet I'm going to make the same stain as the top also. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start scuff sanding the body. I think I have to take the cabinet drawer, doors off, because there's a paint on there that needs to come off, and I think it might be easier to pull it off. Then I'll prime it, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to paint or stain first. I don't know if it matters, but I'm going to think about that, and that's where we're at right now. So I think it should go fairly smooth now. I think the hardest part was was just getting this top part to be back to straight wood. All right, let's go. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape off the top bare wood. I'm going to tape that off. Then I'm going to lay down primer. Well, I'm going to sand, scuff sand it. Then I'm going to lay down a coat of primer on it, and then I'm going to let that dry overnight. And then tomorrow morning I will put the cream color paint on it. And once that's dry, I'll peel the tape, and then I'll drop on the stain. Sounds easy. Should be easy, right? Right? Should be. Whoa, I'm fine. Everything's fine here. Nothing happened. It slipped out from under the rolling wheels. Looked like one of the feet came off, and then it just tumbled back. But luckily, nothing even scratched. So it's all good to go. I finished taping up the inside part here, and I'm about ready to spray. So we're good. Alright, so I'm going to do something new. I'm going to spray. I'm going to spray the paint on with this gravity-fed gun. Gravity-fed just means that it's actual gravity pulling the paint down into the gun. Never done it before. I know that I'm supposed to thin the paint with some water, so I'm going to try that. I'm not 100% sure on the ratio. I will look it up, but I got to try something new, so I'm going to try it right now, and you guys are going to watch, and hopefully everything works out great. Let's do it. So the spraying went awesome. It was a lot easier than I had anticipated. I found out that I needed to mix like 1/8 of a cup of water to a cup of paint. So I did that, and it seemed like it was the right consistency. It sprayed really easy. My gun had has a knob on the back, and when I was first spraying it, it felt like it was barely any paint coming out, so I just turned that knob a little bit, and it let more air and paint come out. So it worked great, and cleanup was easy, and I think the first coat went on in under 5 minutes, which is amazing since it usually takes forever to get it on. And then the second coat was even quicker, and the finish is perfect, so perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the tape and plastic off, and then I'm going to start staining the top and the drawer and the legs. So after that's done, then we'll let it dry, and then probably tomorrow I'll put on the top coat, and then the hardware will be done. Yes. So I got everything sanded, all the top, the drawer, and then I forgot that I gotta pull those. I'm gonna see if I can pull the legs off and sand them and stain them, and then I'll put them back on once they're stained and top coated. I think that's just gonna be the easiest way. But the scary part is now I gotta tilt this thing back onto its back without breaking it or chipping the paint or any of that stuff. Scratching it won't chip. But I think I can do it, so let's see if I can do that. Here we go. So for some reason, I can't get the legs off. They're very solid. I don't want to break. I don't know how, if they're glued in or whatever. So I just flipped the whole thing up onto its back, or up on the. I just flipped it onto its top, and so I'm just going to sand them from this point of view, and then I'll stain them also from here. And so this will be the first thing that gets stained, and then I'll flip it back over and I'll stain the top. So I'm going to use a wood conditioner, and I'm just going to brush it on. And all right, so now I'm going to stain. I'm using bare, and the color is espresso. I thought since this is a coffee bar, espresso would be a good stain color to use. So I'm just going to brush it on with this and let it set for a minute or so, and then I'm going to wipe it off with a paper towel. And I'm using water-based. What I've learned is that water-based is extremely easy to clean up, and it's also there's not a really terrible smell with water-based stains. The oil-based will drive you right out of your workspace. It's so overpowering, but water-based is pretty good. So the stain is all dry, and I'm going to put a top coat on it of this polyurethane. It's a Behr product. It's matte, which especially after looking at how the stain without anything on it looks, it's a matte, and I like that look, so I'm going to use this on it. It's fast drying, says recoat in 1 hour, so I'll put it on and I'll check back in an hour to see if I need to recoat. I'm pretty sure I will. And then I'm going to take the drawer, and I'm going to put some of that, some of the beeswax on it, or some of that citrus wax, just to refreshen it, and because it's a really nice looking piece of wood also. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to do that to the side drawers, and then it's done. That's it. I got to put the hardware back on, and then it's done. Overall, I'm totally loving it, and I feel like it's probably one of the most professional things I've done so far. Spraying really just took my game up another level, so I'm going to spray paint everything from now on. It was so easy, so quick, and the finished product looks so professional. So that's where we're at right now. I'm going to keep going, and we'll put this top coat on. So it's finished. I absolutely love it. I think it's probably the most complete thing I've done. I feel like on every aspect with the staining and the painting and the details, everything came together perfectly. I had no major hiccups, even though I tried stripping and spraying paint for the very first time. They both came out way better than I thought and way better than I hoped, because I figured it's my first time. There's gonna be an issue, a learning curve. Maybe that's next time. But it worked out perfectly, and I absolutely love it. Probably my favorite piece so far. Here it is. I think it turned out amazing, and I'm excited to post it on Facebook Marketplace and see how it does. I'm gonna post it at 300, maybe 325, but I feel like I'm in love with it, so I might be asking more than it's worth. But I'm gonna do it anyways and see what happens. If I don't get any traction, I can always lower it. I just think that it's very nice and very professional. So we'll see what happens with that. Now because I did sell something last week, let's go through and see where we're at on the chart as far as how much money I've made and how much more we have to go. Let's do that right now. All right, so flip number 6. I spent $25 on the dresser, $15 on the wood strips, $10 on paint and primer, which is at $50. I sold it for $300, which is a profit of $250, which gives us a grand total of $790 towards our vacation. Almost hitting that $1,000 mark. We're making it. We're doing it slowly but surely. Well, that'll do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment if you saw something in this video that I didn't do or that I could do to speed up the process. I sure would appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next flip.